Welcome home, brave heroes. I'm Ash, this is HeroQuest, and today I am secondhand unboxing Legend of Zagor, the 3D fighting fantasy game with the computer voice. Based on Ian Livingstone's choose-your-own-adventure type novel of the same name, Legend of Zagor is a 1 to 4 player tabletop role-playing fantasy game. It is more of a dungeon crawler, so it is similar to HeroQuest and Dark World and Dragon Strike. Players choose from 4 unique heroes that all have their own stats and adventure into a dangerous world full of monsters and traps, and gain new spells and abilities and equipment to use during their adventure that enable them to grow stronger against the enemies or each other. The game comes with 22 of these finely detailed miniatures in this 90s aesthetic, with lots of bits of sprue still attached to my minis. I don't think I've gotten a game in as good of condition as this before. Note that the different monsters are actually carrying different weapons. We have various different sculpts. So here are some of the monsters that you'll face in the game. We have ogres, we have orcs, always a fan favorite. Next come the goblins. Nasty little goblins, ripe for the shanking. Next up, we have these awesome sculpts called Chaos Champions. I love the sculpts for these guys. And next up is a lone troll. Although we only get one, he is very strong looking, threatening, very warty, nasty, and powerful. Then we get a unique monster called a Hellhorn, who will look much more threatening and dangerous once I get these sprue bits off of him. Legend of Zagor also comes with a dragon. This dragon's a bit bigger than all of the other miniatures naturally, and the wings are separate. They can be pushed into the sides of the body with pegs. Finally, we have Zagor himself. This figurine is quite massive. It stands easily more than twice the height of any other figurine. Here are the spell cards that come with the game, illustrated beautifully in color, in that classic 90s aesthetic that I love to see from my fantasy games. This character here, the dwarf, he's a real stinker. Easily one of my new favorite characters, but the art for everybody is just fantastic, and a lot of these illustrations are actually hilarious. Don't mind the wax stains on my old table. A lot of these spell cards feature art of one of the 4 heroes, but they are all compatible with all heroes. There are also treasure cards, which are all the same on one side, numbered on the other. Here is a figurine of the merchant that I didn't include with the others earlier. I love his pet cat. The gameplay takes place on a 3-dimensional plastic game board, and every tile is important. This must be assembled before play each time. The game has been kept in such beautifully preserved condition that it even still comes with the Parker Brothers Questionnaire Sweepstakes entry/catalog. I'm not quite sure if this manual had a cover, but I think it might be a complete manual. The character sheets are unlike anything I've ever seen for character sheets. They are pre-illustrated, they contain all of the statistics, and all of the heroes have all of their attributes filled in already. The art for them is just perfect. These aren't meant to be drawn on or marked on. There are actually counters that you place on these sheets and move them around as you play the game. I cannot wait to play as this dwarf character. But because you place counters on these and don't mark on them, they can be reused over and over again. And I imagine it would be really fun to homebrew your own classes in this way for use with this game, once you've played it enough. Now I know that this game hasn't been played before because so many of the cardboard pieces are still not punched out. I'm going to keep the sheets that these cardboard pieces come with, but I'm going to go ahead and punch the rest of them out. These are the colored room tiles that actually go onto the 3D board. Each one has a very unique shape and it will only fit into the space on the board for which it was designed. Putting these into the board was a lot of fun. It was kind of like putting together a jigsaw puzzle. It does kind of seem that they could quite snugly fit if I forced them in, but I think they were meant to be laid gently on top. If you haven't read the instructions for assembly yet, just err on the side of caution. The art for each room is really nice, and each room is very unique. No two were alike, and it makes me very curious how these are going to be implemented in this game. Just a close-up here of the treasure in the room corresponding with the treasure sculpted in the corner of the 3D board piece. I thought that was really cool. Another look at the included pamphlet tells us what games were popular at the time, at least those produced by Parker. Sadly, it seems like this is the only fighting fantasy dungeon crawler Parker ever produced. I really wish that they had done more. One for every book. It would have given me something new to collect. So I realized it was time for me to go and grab my storage materials that I had acquired at Dollar Tree. See what I can use with this board game to make it a little bit more manageable when it's time to crack it open and start playing. And I will show you how I use these. And I think some storage is in order. It will definitely help me manage these cardboard chits, gold pieces, and the equipment that are given to each of the players throughout the course of the game. I don't have a clear solution for storing the minis, but the less that they are able to rattle around the box, the better. So I might try to store as many as I can in these plastic divided containers in the future. It would be really great to get a custom foam storage system, but I imagine that I might have to make my own for a board game this niche, though I think I found the configuration that I'm happy with so far. The lid doesn't collide with any of the pieces or their limbs or weapons or anything when it goes down, so I know they're not going to just randomly break while they're in storage. It's been a challenge so far to try to use this thing, but I think that the chits and the sortation of the many different kinds of cardboard tiles are going to go right in there perfectly, although the tiles that are meant to go into the 3D board are too big for that container, specifically. So here in the manual, you will find on the first page there is an equipment list, and I'll give you a good look at it, just in case you ever do acquire this game for yourself. You can see what it's all supposed to come with. Here we learn that the dwarf's name is Stubble. Although I'm realizing now that this is not a complete inventory list. It doesn't include the manual or the Little Parker Brothers catalog. This game has a ton of item tokens. And now, with the board completely assembled, all of the corridor tiles in place and monsters placed down for flavor, but with heroes in their actual starting positions. Once they are selected, bridges set up, you can see this game in its full glory. There are 3 levels of difficulty, and the adventurers will have to journey through the Chamber of Death and the Hall of Fear before they finally reach the Crypt of Zagor himself, which they most assuredly will do during a future solo playthrough of this game right here on the channel. I hope you enjoyed this secondhand unboxing and presentation video of this vintage tabletop dungeon crawler. Please look forward to more, and I will see you in the next video. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching. Until then, bye for now.